In my free time, I draw webtoon comics, which are linked in my bio, by the way. But recently, I've been trying to do like a page a day of my comic because I've been trying to be more consistent and lock in. And yesterday, I didn't do a page of my comic because I went to sleep because I had work tomorrow. I had a shift starting at 10 p.m., not 10 p.m., it's 10 a.m. And I remember feeling so bad because I didn't accomplish the one page a day thing or goal that I set for myself. And it kind of did mess with me a little bit because I kind of got a little bit of thought saying, "Oh, you'll never lock in, you'll never achieve success if you don't if you fall asleep right now." Because I actually chose to play a video game shortly before going to bed because I kind of just felt stressed from doing all the drawing. And I remember the one thing that kind of got me to go to sleep in a timely manner so that I wouldn't be so tired at my work shift is I remember thinking something that my professor said once. Well, she would say it a lot of times. She said, "Sleep is social resistance." And it was like one of those phrases that you think to yourself, "Oh, okay, that sounds cool." But you don't really think too hard about it, right? Because, there's not much to say about it. But experiencing that last night, it kind of gave me hope for feeling so bad about going to sleep before doing that one page a day challenge or not doing it. And one thing I really like about that phrase is that it kind of reminds us that this whole grind culture or this culture where if you don't lock in now, it's all over. It's all a lot of times in our head. Now, I'm not saying that we should be lazy and not accomplish our goals. Like I've talked about how it's important to time manage, but it's also important to understand how much rest is essential to our lives. And I'm not saying I'm Captain Rest and I always get 8 hours of sleep. I actually only really get like 6 hours and 30 minutes out of sleep, which I've checked with my Apple Watch. And it's something I do want to get better at is actually valuing my sleep because I don't think we realize how much we don't have ourselves fully functioning when we don't like go to sleep. Because it's like a lot of us are kind of functioning, especially Gen Z, off of like energy drinks and staying up and not always getting that full 8 hours. And it makes you kind of wonder, are we truly our real full selves? Like, let me bring it up. Let me put it like this, right? When we're not sleeping fully or getting enough sleep, it is true that a lot of our cognitive functions aren't the same. Like I remember I heard somewhere that going or being a sleepy driver is kind of akin to being like a drunk driver in terms of like your reflexes. It's made me think about how I feel like a lot of our culture makes us feel bad for giving ourselves a sense of rest and taking a time to slow down. Now, there is such thing as sloth and just being lazy and all that, but I think sometimes we kind of like guilt trip ourselves if we take a time to rest. I'm not saying that there isn't days where you need to stay up late to accomplish something. Like I do that a lot where I crunch and I do want to get to a point where I'm not always trying to stay up super late. It just helps that I'm on spring break at my college, so I've had more time to just stay up. And I'm gonna stay up tonight. I'll be honest with y'all because I got to make the comic, but I'll be able to at least sleep and control the time I wake up. But it's important to kind of not when you don't accomplish a goal or a quota and you really try to lock in, it's important to understand how much your rest is essential and getting some form of rest because at the end of the day, it's like I'm pretty sure people who don't sleep much or don't go to sleep, like it hurts their life expectancy. And let me make this clear: I'm not Captain Go to Sleep, and I always go to sleep with the 8 hours. I actually get 10 hours sleep. I'm just kind of just telling you my experience because I really did feel bad for not accomplishing that page a day. Because I mean, as you guys have probably noticed in my videos, like you'll see me working on my comics, and that's me recording. And it's so important that we understand that we're not machines. Like just because you didn't accomplish a quota doesn't make you less. Like there is a way to find rest and also be able to accomplish your goals. Like I think anyone who tells you that you always have to have so little sleep, if you get 8 hours of sleep, you're just not grinding hard enough. You got to get 5 hours, right? I think that person is kind of just lying to you because who told you that has to be the life that you have to live? Because the way I see it, it's like, yeah, get rest when you need. One of my favorite scenes from Dragon Ball Z, I should say, is when Goku is training with Gohan in the hyperbolic time chamber. And he's talking about how, yeah, we need time to rest. And well, I think it's in the hyperbolic time chamber. He talks about rest. Yeah, I think he does. But also too, after they're done training, they take time to just relax before the Cell games, which for those who don't watch Dragon Ball, basically Cell games is like this death tournament. And instead of training, they chose to just live their lives. And I think it's so important to kind of have our hobbies and leisure because it really kind of does reset our brain and make us a lot more calmer. Because I think that's another thing where people like to kind of hate on people's hobbies or say it's a waste of time. Like there's this weird mentality that if you're taking time to just enjoy yourselves, that it's actually a waste of time. Like one thing I really don't like is when people kind of talk about video games as complete waste of time because they're the same people who watch TV. Like I find it hard to believe a lot of the people criticizing video games and saying it's a complete waste of time are any type of people who only read books and who only do finance and stuff. Like, no, they probably watch TV. They probably do some kind of hobby. And like this mentality that's a waste of time is like, I think video games and watching TV is only a waste of time if you're not getting done what you need to do. Because at the end of the day, there's going to be times where we just chill and do things that aren't super productive because at the end of the day we're not animals, we're not machines. Like we have a purpose, sure, but you can use the hours of your day to relax because I feel like a lot of times when we don't have hobbies and we don't take time to relax, I think honestly it's actually worse for us because we're not giving ourselves the time to kind of just release the pressure. And I think it's such a shame that we're constantly told to be super productive. Well, not a shame to tell people to be productive. It's a shame to tell people when they enjoy their hobbies that aren't super productive, they're a waste of time. Because, like, no, video games aren't a waste of time. They're only a waste of time if you don't do anything with your life. I mean, even me personally this week, I've been drawing like crazy. Like, I think I've drawn about like 23 hours of drawing, and that's being more conservative on the number. But, this week I haven't played my video games or played video games more than probably like maybe like 3 hours. Like I'm not sure 100% because I haven't been timing it, but it can't be more than like 5 hours. Like I don't think I've been like grinding on the game like crazy, and that's fine. But even if I did, it's important to just have a time where you can relax. And that phrase from my teacher, it wasn't something I really took seriously until more recently. Now, this isn't to say I didn't find it inspiring. It's not like I thought it was a dumb phrase. It was just more so something I never thought too deeply or really place emphasis. But like after last night, when I didn't accomplish the goal that I wanted to set forth, it made me realize that's what she was talking about. Because it's like, I feel like society runs off of people being fully minded. You want to be sure that you're in a state of your mind where you can operate well. That's why I've been taking more naps. And another thing I started doing, I did a couple weeks ago, I'm back on it now, is that I took a break from caffeine and I allowed myself to be natural when it came to my tiredness because I realized I was addicted to caffeine. I remember one night I only got like 4 hours of sleep and I drank like 500 milligrams of caffeine, which for those who work out, that's probably not that a lot. But for a normal person, that's not a good amount of caffeine. You shouldn't be drinking that much. And after that, I realized, dang, I really need to hone in on actually going to sleep more natural, which one thing I've been trying to do is take more naps instead of getting on caffeine, which caffeine is not bad in itself. But like taking a nap and just enjoying like the 30 minutes of rest because you really can do so much once you put yourself in the right mindset to get yourself some sleep. So, bit of a long video. I said that last video, but this is a longer video. But I hope you guys have a great day and enjoy the rest or enjoy the upcoming week that you're about to have. All right. Have a great day.